Hello, hello. My name is Emile, and this is my father.
I'm Jim.
This is my fish, and today we're going to be talking about preserved fishes and preservation techniques.
Yeah, you know, it's funny how like preserved fish from the old days has really turned into our delicacies of today.
Yeah, I know.
First off, we got like smoked salmon. And when you think about it, way back then, you used to go fishing and you'd catch a whole bunch of fish and you didn't have like a refrigerator, you didn't have a freezer, you didn't have a way to get it to the next town. So you had to figure out, what am I gonna do with this to save it for next week's lunch?
Exactly.
So this is some cold smoked salmon. So how would you do this?
So cold smoked salmon, I mean, any smoking, we're going to start with a cure mixture for the fish. So that's going to be sort of a salt sugar mixture.
Yeah.
We're going to rub that onto the flesh of our fish. And that's going to basically pull all the moisture from that flesh. The salt is going to then inject itself into that flesh to add that salty flavor. Once we're through that, we're going to actually rinse that extra salt off of the fish. At that point, we want to get it into some sort of dryer. In our day and age, we're using a refrigerator and fans. Back in the day, you might see something more like fillet hanging from a tree, sitting on a rock.
I don't know. I like tree salmon sounds wacky.
Yeah.
The air drying is really going to create what we call a pellicule. Pull in here. See, it's almost leathery. Like this side is really it looks like me after a day on the beach. And on the inside, it's still fairly fleshy. And that's one of the things about cold smoked salmon. It doesn't get really hot, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. So it's called cold smoked salmon because we're keeping the temperature low. We're keeping it cold while we smoke it. Now, speaking about that pellicule, that sort of, leathery outside, that is going to really suck up that smoky flavor. We smoke for a short period of time at a very, very intense smokiness, kind of like this vase here.
Don't talk about that yet. That's top secret.
Yeah, no, exactly. You don't want to ruin the grand reveal.
Exactly.
And so that smoke is really going to make it into here. Once we have our completed side, we're going to do what I'm doing right now. We're slicing smoked salmon.
And that takes like a really sharp knife, and it takes a little bit of skill. And one thing you'll notice with cold smoked salmon is, see, it's kind of like fresh salmon. It still kind of flops around. And you know it's best friends with the bagel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just going to pop this on here.
Yeah.
Another thing we're adding, which is quite interesting, is capers. And capers are brined in salt, and they're also going on here. I'm not sure if this is going to be the heart smart meal.
Now, we talked about the cold smoked salmon. Now let's talk a little bit about the hot smoked. It's sort of cousin. When we're talking about hot smoke, not that it's spicy, we're talking about the temperature at which it's cooked. It's gonna have a much more cooked-like texture. It's gonna have sort of a flakiness, break apart easily. In this instance, we're using like a barbecue glaze on it. That's what you're seeing on top there.
And you know, it almost looks like barbecued salmon.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's how it was invented myself.
Yeah, so barbecue salmon with a nice smoky flavor. Obviously, it's got a bit of that preservation to it, so it's going to last long. I love the way that this breaks up. I think it makes it really awesome for a salad. You can put it on a crostini bite. I think I'm going to put some of those together in a moment here.
Watch this. This is super smoke. Whoa!
Hello, hello. So
Jim.
The grand reveal has been done. What we're looking at here is a salmon jerky. So this is when we're taking sort of what the cold smoked drying process, we're taking that to the oomph level. So this is, it's similar to a beef jerky, but from salmon. As you can see, it's not pulling apart easily.
You know what I like about this one too? I like the salt and I like the sugar, but also look in there, you can see little chunks of pepper, which are amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of addictive, hard to stop.
So smoking, that's one preservation technique. What do you have over here in the cans, Jim?
Dude, I know you're not a big fan of little things in little cans,
Well,
but I'm a bit of a sardine fiend. And I remember way back when I was a young man, the first thing I tasted in fish were sardines. Two Finnish carpenters were working on our cottage, and man, the smell when those cans opened, it was a hot day, but woo. So these are sardines. There's two preparations here. One's in a spicy tomato and one's in straight up oil. These are really good for you. And they're really not that freaky.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're going to agree.
It looks a little bit icky there.
Yeah, that's the word. The one thing that I don't think you like is the fact that there's still a bone inside.
Yeah, and you seem to always spill the oil all over your shirt too.
Dude, I've only got so many shirts today. So I'm going to actually crack one open. I'm going to show you the inside. See, there's skin and there's bone and there's flesh. So, you know, it's a little radical, but we're not talking fear factor, and it's really mild. So I'm gonna pop those onto there. Now the last thing that we have, preservation technique wise, is salt cod.
Yeah, that is a wacky looking piece you got over there.
Yeah, like salt cod is, you know, when we talked about the sound, or you're curing it, you're drying it, salt cod is straight up just super salted. So to prepare this one, you actually tear it up like this and you put it into the water, and you're trying to rehydrate it and get a lot of the salt out. But look at it. I mean, it's leathery. It's like, so once you've done this, you're really soaking it overnight. You're changing the water a few times, and then you got this really great fish with a really nice texture. So one of the things that we have with it is salt cod cakes.
Yeah.
And that's really potato. I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab them out of the oven.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what's so interesting with salt cod is that texture stays firm. You know, just because you're rehydrating it and getting that salt off doesn't mean that it's going to be unsalty or you know, like a traditional raw fillet.
Yeah. It's still got the cod flavor, but it's got a certain texture, which is really cool. I've had it Mediterranean style, which is almost like a tomato stew with capers, potatoes.
Yeah.
But this, I got to say, is a very Newfoundland kind of vibe, and it's got potatoes and it's got that nice brown crust on the outside. It's pretty darn tasty.
Yeah.
Give me a piece of lemon here. Now, I wonder if everyone here has had a sardine. We'll see who likes what, smoked salmon or sardines or the salt cod cake.
Yeah,
I'm going to show you what this is like on the inside. Remember that cod is just going to be kind of flaked out. There's potato and there's savory. Cool. If you want to get in there, you can have a good look.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah, these are pretty soul food.
And I'm going to bring some of these bites over to the crew here and see if...
I think the sardines are going to go first.
Yeah.
Oh, Karen, there's sardines for you.
I'm gonna go for the smoked salmon.
Ah,
What?
the cold smoked,
Come on.
yeah.
Smoked salmon, zero.
No love
sardines
for the
so far.
sardines.
No love
Nathan,
for the
you wanna
sardines.
try
Come
one?
on. Nathan, sardines, sardines, sardines.
Oh,
Oh,
a
you're
lot of
killing
love for
me.
the cold smoke. Always going for the dip. Love it.
What? Nobody for sardines?
How about anyone else?
Okay, well, I'm going to eat
Enjoy.
the sardines by myself.
Oh, we have a sardine taker
All right.
over here.
One here.
You know, it's so good for your hair. I'm living proof.
Not good for your laundry.
Yeah. All right, well, cheers, brother. I'm going to have a sardine. Are you going to have a...
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little bite here, and ultimately, let's just thank our ancestors for not having a fridge
It's
and
true.
coming up with these amazing
I know,
preservation
we wouldn't
techniques.
have these crazy things. I feel a bit like a cat.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't drip on your shirt.
Don't drip on your salmon. I'm missing one with a head. I really like the head. A lot of calcium.
Wow.